That's over yonder on Cassidy Avenue in Fredonia. They're open Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 2, and on Sunday 8 to 2. But don't forget the Friday night fish fry from 4 to 8. I promise you'll leave the coon dog in grinning like a possum eating persimmons, and as full as a tick.
Life is filled with moments. Moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Hello, this is Gloria Smith with the Law Office of Jeff Russo. Are you buying or selling real estate? Are you planning on refinancing your existing home loan? If so, you should be aware that you have your choice in which attorney provides the legal services associated with such transactions. Our law office has over 50 years of experience in real estate law. We pride ourselves on being cost-effective and having a quick turnaround time. If you're in need of such services, call us today at 365-2763 or find us on the web at www.jeffrussolaw.com. We are located in downtown Princeton on the east side of the courthouse.
This is an advertisement.
1580 103.3 WPKY Coffee Talk is on the air. Morning conversations about things of interest to you. If you'd like to be a guest on Coffee Talk, just email us your information at WPKYonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY. It's Tess and Ty in the morning without the Ty. You know, he ran away from me, but I replaced him. That's what I did. I've got Nate Huggins.
Good morning, Tess.
How are you?
Wonderful.
I always love it when you're here.
I love being here too. Appreciate
Isn't that nice?
WPKY. It's wonderful.
Hey, how is school going? We've got
It's
the
going
brand
great.
new start.
We've had a great start. We really have. And I've got two great guests with me this morning. I've got
Yes,
the
you do.
new leadership team at the Caldwell County Elementary School. Melissa Thomas, the principal, and vice principal is Kendra Glenn. And I asked them this morning just to come up and talk about their school. And I'm going to put Melissa Thomas on first because she has to get to a PD session.
Well, bless your heart. How are you? I mean, you've got a big job over there, right?
Well, our schools are the cornerstone of our community, and it's just a blessing to serve in this capacity. We were off to a fabulous start. We're excited. I'm excited to be in this position. I don't take it lightly. I know how important it is. And I have kids of my own in the building.
Right.
So it's been a great start. The group of staff, the teachers that we have in place right now are some of the hardest working people I've ever been around. And so they are what make it great. And I'm excited for what we're doing at the elementary school.
Well, they've always done some good things over there, I will tell you. My kids hated to leave that school. They really, I hated for them to leave. I really did. And it turned out, I met other people and that sort of thing. But even your office staff and all of that, there's such a good camaraderie there, and they have a lot of fun. So I really as much as I hated to leave the primary, I found, hey, this elementary school, this isn't bad. And I get over there, and then I hate to leave there, too.
Well, you just hate to see your kids grow up.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's the theme of it. Now, did you start out, is this what have you bent doing over the last few years?
Well, I have 17 and a half years in. I've done a lot of different things. I've been in a couple of different schools. Most of my time has been spent at the high school level. Been coaching basketball for 17 and a half years.
That's what I was trying to get at, by
has
the way.
prepared me more for this job probably than anything else, just in dealing with people. I mean, we're a team at the elementary school, and I'm just coaching the team. And the one thing that I do want to say is that the adults in the building, they love kids, and that's where it starts. And the students feel that love, and they feel safe in our building, and that's where it starts. I think we have a great foundation, and the teachers and staff understand that those basic needs have to be met first, and then everything after that comes easily.
Well, I think when kids have fun, that's one of the biggest things. When they're having fun, I think they learn more at the end of the day. I really do, because then they haven't shut their mind off. When they're not noticing sometimes that they're learning, and they're like, hey, this isn't half bad. Oh, wait, maybe I'm interested in that after all. At that age, it is such a impressionable age. And if you can get them to where they don't hate to go to school, they love to go to school. That is such an important thing.
It is, and our teachers do a phenomenal job of that. They make it fun for their students, and the students want to be there. And it's just a great place to be. The culture is awesome, and it's a fun place, and our kids want to be there, and our teachers want to be there, and we've got a lot of good things going on. I'm proud of it.
So what are some of the upcoming things that you guys have planned for this year over at the school?
We have different groups coming in out of our school all the time just to provide enrichment for our students. The thing that I'm probably the most proud of is our new specials class. We have a STEM class that's newly developed this year, science, technology, engineering, and math. We're trying to develop a program so that we can provide an opportunity for our students to become 21st century learners. And as technology advances, as these things advances, they're so important. And we have the opportunity to engage these students in a different way that they haven't had before. And so I'm real excited about that. My own kids have been through that special class already, and they're pumped about it and excited about it, which is just evidence that we're doing the right thing by our kids.
If you can get kids excited about it, I mean, that's one of those things, that's one of the things that a lot of the kids actually look forward to at the high school level is because you get into some of the, I looked on my daughter's schedule, forensics and some things like that. But
CSI.
There's some neat classes, that are electives up at the high school. But then when you start bringing these that are really interesting and something neat, and I'm glad that I think I like it because you call it specials, because it really is. It's not every school is going to have that, and to be able to be fortunate enough and blessed enough in our community that our kids get to do that. I think that means a great deal.
Another thing we're doing that I'm very proud of is we have a portion of our day called Win Time, and basically WIN stands for What I Need. So we want to provide an individualized environment for our students. We're giving them whatever it is that they need for a portion of the day. For some, it's extra math. For some, it's enrichment in math. For some, it's reading. For some, it's maybe some mental health things that are going on. But we want to provide an opportunity daily to spend individual time with our students so that they're getting specifically what they need. And, it's such a complex, education is such a complex thing. Students are coming to us with more than just academic needs, and so we want to address whatever those needs are, and this gives us an opportunity and a chance daily to do that.
I love that because I have, of course, twins, and totally different needs. One of them doesn't have really any special needs, but the other one is totally special needs. And so, in the what I need, is totally different between the two of them. And I would imagine your students are the same way.
Absolutely. We have students that come from so many different backgrounds, they have so many different levels of academic needs. And then we also, we have students who need to be pushed, and we have students who are gifted in so many different areas. Everyone has relative strengths and weaknesses. So we want to figure out what those are. And one thing that we're trying to do is we're trying to know our students well. If we know our students well, we know what their needs are, we're going to be able to educate them better. So that's our focus, and that's what we're going into this school year trying to do. And I'm real proud of how our staff and our teachers have really grasped that concept, and they bought into that concept, and we're all on the same page, and we all just want to do what's best for kids. And I think we've done that to start this school year, and we want to push that through until the end.
Well, it makes a big difference, even as an adult, when you walk in someplace and they know your name.
Right.
When they can look at it and say, hey, how are you? How's your mama and them? We joke about that sort of thing, but it makes a big difference. And what do you end up doing? You don't mind going there anymore. Now it's kind of fun. And, if you can walk into school and, the teachers know you and they ask how your family is and they know things about you, that's a safe environment. That's where the safety comes in, and that's where it comes into some of these kids that, maybe they need to be a part of the backpack program, but they don't feel comfortable enough to come to you and say, look, I need this. And that's where when you can get to that comfort level and they can feel that safety, that's where we're really succeeding.
Absolutely, and I can't say enough about our Hope and Cope Center and what they do for kids, our community as a whole. I've had people reaching out to me, different organizations, and I don't want to start listing because I don't want to leave anyone out, but just asking, what can we do for your school? And our community is spectacular. I wouldn't want to live any other place in the world, because just from coaching basketball and the support that we've received there, not just athletics, but now as a principal, I'm seeing it from a different side of how our community rallies together and says, hey, what are your needs? We want to help you fulfill them. So I'm real proud of that, and I'm thankful that we live in a community that supports all of our students. And it's really refreshing to me as a leader of this in this position that I always have a go-to. Whatever our needs are, there's someone in this community willing to fulfill it. Now, I've got to head out, but before I do, I just want to introduce Kendra Glenn, who joins us from Sharp Elementary, and I just want to say how blessed we are to have her in our school building. She and I work really well together. She compliments me very well. She has 17 years of experience as well, and hers is in the elementary school. So she'll talk more about that, but I feel like we've got a good thing going on at the elementary. And
Got a great thing going on.
And I want to say I'm just blessed. I'm just really blessed to be in this position to serve students and staff at the elementary school.
Well, thank you so much for coming in. I know you're busy, but we're really looking forward to everything going on this year at the elementary school. And, of course, that's Melissa Thomas. And if her voice sounds familiar, it should, because she's been coaching for a minute or two.
Years,
That's a lot of years.
A lot of years.
Hey, but we sure appreciate everything she does. So, hey, now that she's gone, Nate, I'll talk. That was a great idea on your part. She's a winner, I'm telling you.
I guarantee you she is.
Good job.
She's a wonderful leader in our school district, and we're just pleased to have her in that position.
Hey, I really, she's a strong lady, and I like the idea that when she talks about it being a team. And, you know, that part I think is really smart when you look at it that way, because that way, you know, there's kind of a bonding that happens amongst them. And so, you know, hey, you're part of that too.
Yes. And
you may be new. Are you new to, you know, being a vice principal, or is this something that the first time that you've done it?
This is a new position for me. I have been teaching for 17 years.
Oh, wow.
I started my career in Livingston County at Ledbetter Elementary School. And taught there a few years, and then I've spent the majority of my career in Marshall County school system at Sharp Elementary School.
Well, in a case you didn't hear us, this is Kendra Glenn, and of course she is the new vice principal for the Caldwell County Elementary School. And I had talked to her earlier. Of course, I didn't have to apologize after all. See, I normally, when I meet new teachers or new principals, I have to apologize. I'm sorry, my kids are there. I apologize ahead of time. But mine are in the middle school and high school, so you're good. You don't have to put up with my kids. I will say, now the parents and the grandparents and that sort of thing, they are so into at the elementary school. You know, you don't have to beg them to come for a special day for the kid to get a certificate. Those bleachers are full. And I will say I served there, you know, for the parent organization there at elementary school, and I will tell you, I had so much fun, and I encourage parents and grandparents to do that. And I mean, do you have any days coming up that
we are actually in need of members for our PTA, and that's something that I wanted to talk about today, was to get some parents in and give us a call and see if you could come help us. PTAs and PTOs across the state are a huge asset to schools. Talking about my former school, Sharp Elementary, I don't know what we would have done without our PTO. They funded numerous field trips, supplies that we needed for the classroom, things that we could not fit in our school budget. They were there to pick up the slack. And so right now, as it stands, we have just a handful of members of our PTA at Caldwell County Elementary School, and we would love to have more people join in and help us raise funds and get that money to the kids and things that we can do for them.
Well, I had served with Tanya McGowan at the time. Our kids are kind of the same age, and we had served together. And that was, you know, a lot of people don't do it. I didn't get into it at first because I thought, I don't have time.
Right.
They're going to want me to be there every day. And that's not the case. I mean, there are times when certain times of the year, you know, if you're like the rest of us, hey, I've got a little more time during this part of the year than I do this part of the year. So you can kind of plan it amongst different groups or things that's going on. You know, when can you put in more time? But, you know, grandparents can get involved in that as well.
Yes.
And that's what I wish that people would understand. And I will say, now, we have a wonderful community that shows up when they have a special function. They do. They will fill those bleachers. You're not going to be able to find a parking spot in the yard or down the road. They are there. So what we need is for them to be more active throughout the days and throughout the weeks. How do they do that?
If they'll just contact me or Ms. Thomas, either one, we'll get them set up. And it could be as simple as organizing a fundraiser, or maybe just being a part of a fundraiser that we're doing with the PTA. We don't have any specific days set up coming up that I'm aware of. But they can contact us, and we're hoping to get that ball rolling really quick.
Well, and like with me, I'm not good at selling things.
Right.
So you know what I did? I would, other people would sell it, and then I would go the day that they were handing it out, and I would help hand it out.
Right.
That's what I was good at. I'll
Support
load
staff.
the boxes. I'm the road crew.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I was good at.
So,
I mean, it's something for everybody.
In that organization and in that kind of environment, there's something for everyone to do and to participate in, and ultimately, it always benefits the kids, and that's what we've got to keep in mind. It might be a few hours of your day, but if it's going to benefit the kids anyway, then it's worth it.
Well, and another thing that I wanted to hit this morning, since you all were here, I know that a lot of times when there comes in new leadership and you don't know them as well, you don't have the tendency sometimes to go and say, I've got a problem, or come and talk to you. Now, of course, Melissa Thomas has been around for a while, and a lot of people know her. But I want to take the time and say, we're a no bully, no tolerance for that kind of stuff. If you do have, there's an open door policy at our schools. If you have a problem as a parent, they need to come and speak to you.
Absolutely.
Get to know you, right?
Yes, get to know me. Yes.
I can promise you she's really sweet.
She's very approachable.
Yes, absolutely. And she's easy to talk to.
She's kid-centered. And so is Melissa. I mean, it's a kid-centered leadership team at the elementary school, and really at all our schools. It's all about kids. That's our motto. And they do that very well at the elementary school, as well as the middle, primary, and the high school.
Well, that was one thing that I'll don't get me wrong, I don't want my kids to grow up. But over at the elementary school, it seems like, there's just that hint of a little kid left in them.
There is.
It's not gone yet. And you all have so much fun with them.
Mm-hmm.
There's the parties and the special days throughout the year, and you celebrate the holidays and the birthdays and the student of the month. I am assuming that's still there as well. And we're going to celebrate that with you. So, I mean, it's one of those that, in 100 Days of School, now that's one of my favorites.
They all dress up if they're 100 years old, I believe.
Sometimes we do that. Different schools do different things, but we like to celebrate the 100th day.
When my kids were in elementary, it wasn't my favorite. I will admit, Nate, because my kids would show up, at night, and they're, I got to have that T-shirt made with the 100 things of macaroni stuck to it, and they would not tell me and until, midnight the night before. But, looking back at that, I'm like, oh, my kids aren't going to do that.
It was
anymore.
good times. It was fun.
Such good times. And they would decorate their own Valentine box and different things like that. So hold on to that, because when they're still in elementary, once they get out of that, I tell them they're not cute anymore, Mr. Huggins.
They'll always be cute.
Nah,
you look at them when they're 25 or 30, and they'll say, "There's my babies."
Oh, I'm telling you,
you really will.
I really do appreciate you coming in.
Thank you. And I appreciate you all having us in today.
If there's anything that you all have going on, we would love to know about it and love to share it with them.
We have started a Facebook page, and we're trying to push information out for parents that way. If someone wants to search for that and like that page, we try to send reminders and things. So if it is the 100th day of school, maybe you'll see that before 9 o'clock at night.
That's what I needed.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys are brilliant, because if I'd have had that, I would have known. I think that's great. Now, are you guys doing the blue and gold theme all week this week, too?
We are. Yes, we are.
Everybody's doing that in honor of Coach Barnes.
I think that's wonderful.
We have our flags at half-mast for him in honor of him. I just wanted to let the public know again that the visitation's tonight at the Morgan Funeral Home from 4 to 8. And the service, we're dismissing at 12:40 tomorrow. So your kids will come home early tomorrow. The doors open up at 2:30 at the CAB building, and the service will start at 3:30 in our CAB building in the high school gymnasium.
Okay.
So if you want to honor and give your respects to Coach Barnes and his family, that's the information for the service.
Well, and
Just a wonderful man. I mean, he's been coaching 36 years, I believe, if my math's right. And if you just take an average of 50 football players on the field, he's touched a lot of lives in his lifetime.
Well, and there's part of him that just, I said, it's kind of like the snowball effect, because 40 years from now, Coach Barnes may not be with us, but his legacy is still going to be touching people 40 and 50 years down the road.
And we witnessed that Sunday. They had a football meeting Sunday. They all got together, or Saturday, excuse me. And they all talked about Coach Barnes, and previous players came and talked about what he meant to them. And it brought tears to everybody's eyes. I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal on what they were saying about Coach Barnes on Saturday. Truly a gifted man, a leader of our community, and he will be greatly missed.
Well, and I think one of the biggest things with him was it was all about the kids. And you could tell it was all about the kids. He didn't even have to tell you, because he was constantly hugging one of them or telling them he loved them, or that was the theme with him.
Yeah, he would give a shirt off his back for anybody, even if he knew the kid or not. If a kid needed it, Coach Barnes would take care of it.
Well, it sounds like that's what your theme is going to be at the elementary school as well.
Absolutely.
And he came up to coach the Kentucky All-Stars up in Elizabethtown a couple of years ago. And I had one of my bus drivers, I was transportation director at that time. He came back, he said, let me tell you, that's a first-class coach right there. My bus driver came back and told me that, and he only was with him for a week, because we provided the buses from the hotel to the football, because they played at the Elizabethtown Stadium. I mean, absolutely phenomenal.
And that's something he didn't have to do.
No, he didn't. I mean, but he just in 4 days he touched another man's life. He came back and just couldn't say enough good things about him.
I loved it when you hear the coaches from other counties, Mayfield and different ones, that are talking about him and say, "Look, this is a class act guy."
The one thing that I'm very envious of him and his son Will, the relationship that they had, father-son, because I got to sit at the lunch table sometimes with him at the high school, was phenomenal. Absolutely breathtaking to sit and just listen to them talk at lunch. It was wonderful.
I'll tell you, he's one of those things that you want to. What was the old commercial? I want to be like Mike, and I think now it's I want to be like Coach
Dave.
Barnes.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean that, but I appreciate everything that you're doing, and we were talking about it off mic earlier, that you all have a lot of people there for any of the kids that are feeling it, that do need to speak to somebody this week. There is people there for them.
We have grief counselors available if any student needs it. All our counselors are available, and also our directors at central office, myself, Assistant Superintendent Ms. Wetzel. We're there for the kids if they need to sit and talk about it.
Well, and it's going to be a rough week. That I think all of the staff is feeling it as well, the other coaches, and. But we're going to hug them and love them a little harder and a little more often, and tell them that as often as we can, and hopefully, our community pulls together like no other community I've ever seen. I mean, we know how to draw. What's it called? Draw ranks, pull ranks.
Pull ranks.
We know how to pull them in close when we need to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we're going to do this week.
And Coach Mack is going to move in and take over as the interim head coach, and all the coaches and the administration at the high school were in favor of that taking place, and we announced that last night at the board meeting.
Well, and I think that says a lot about him.
He's a great leader in our school building as well. Been with us 22 years, and we look for great things to happen with our football team with Coach Mack at the helm.
Well, and again, I'm going to start recording us off the mic. I swear I am. But no, we were talking about how that's not a position that you can replace. But I don't think he's the perfect one to step in.
He's going to step in. We can't replace Coach Barnes.
Right.
He's one of a kind. He really is. And but Coach Mack's going to do a phenomenal job for our school system and our kids.
Well, and our kids already love him.
They do love him.
That's somebody that they know they can look to already. Yeah. And I think that's wonderful. Of course, this Friday we have our season opener.
Christian County.
I would love to see those bleachers just
packed.
Standing room only.
Right.
All along the fence line. Let's pack it in.
Exactly right.
These kids need the support. They really do, and I would love to see everybody show up for that.
Me as well. I'll be there. I promise you. It's going to be a great evening for Caldwell County and our football team.
Well, and that's a great time for us to pull together too.
Right.
We're going to draw them in and say, "Look, we're going to support you. We're here."
We're going to give every ounce of effort for Coach Barnes this Friday night and honor him.
Well, I think that's wonderful. Hey, I'm going to have you do it for just a second, and so don't go anywhere. I'm not going to let him go anywhere. We're going to change gears here in just a second. It's Tess and Ty, Coffee Talk, 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Get the whole family ready to step into that famous back-to-school feeling with Famous Footwear's buy one, get one half off sale going on now. That's one pair of checkered Vans for him and half off Adidas for her. Fresh new Timberlands for her and half off new boots for you. Shop top brands that'll make your family feel like they're on top of the world. Famous Footwear, because everyone deserves to feel a little famous. Buy one item, get a second item of equal or lesser value for half price. Some exclusions apply.
Do you want the job done or the job done right? If you're hiring for your business, you want it done right. You want Glassdoor. Simply post your job on Glassdoor and just like that, it's available to over 67 million job seekers. Glassdoor only matches you with the best applicants, so you can find the right fit faster, in half the resumes. Plus, they're 30% more likely to stay with your company longer. Hire better, hire faster. Start your free trial today at glassdoor.com/hire.
WPKY. If you're struggling with weight and frustrated with dieting each and every year, Mark Patrick Hypnosis can help. Join the over 500,000 people who have attended Mark Patrick Hypnosis programs with weight loss results. Mark Patrick Hypnosis will be in Hopkinsville on Thursday, September 12th. Summer's over. It's time to get back on track.
After this hypnosis, I want to eat good food.
Since August, I can honestly say I have not had one potato chip.
It was life-changing for me.
And I don't think about desserts like I used to.
Bridget, how much have you lost now?
I had lost a total of 83 pounds.
Holy cow.
It's easy, it's fun, very relaxing, and very successful.
And I would just say go for it.
For only $49.99, lose all the weight you want, 100% guaranteed. Thursday, September 12th at the Holiday Inn Hotel, 2910 Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville. Seminar time is 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. Registration begins at 5 p.m. Attend this program and find out how the power of hypnosis can help you achieve your weight loss goals. There's limited seating, so get there early. Learn more at markpatrickseminars.com.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Lyon County friends. We invite you to come to Cada's anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cada's or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at hancocksneighborhoodmarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, hancocksneighborhoodmarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cada's.
This is Carol at the Woodall Agency at 110 West Washington Street in the heart of downtown Princeton. Our agency is proud to have been a part of this community since 1907. We want you to come by and see us soon. We may be able to save you some money on your home, auto, motorcycle, or mobile home insurance. We offer discounts for good students, multi-policy, safe drivers, and many more. We appreciate our loyal customers, and we will work hard to make you feel like part of the Woodall Agency family. Call me today at 365-5541.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, we've got Caldwell County Superintendent Nate Huggins. That's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful.
Is your wife going around calling you that all the time?
No.
Because that's a mouthful.
Yeah. She just says, I need you over here.
He said, come here.
Come here.
Hey, with school starting, I will say, I haven't seen anyway and heard, and I hear a lot through the grapevine, but I haven't heard one fussing about traffic.
I tell you what, it's been, according to Jimmy Dyer and the folks that are taking care of transporting our kids, the precious cargo every day, he said it's been the best start for him.
I haven't heard nobody fussing.
We absolutely, it went picture perfect the first 3 days of school. It went great again this morning. I was out at the elementary school watching them unload the buses this morning at 7 o'clock. It's clockwork. The bus drivers that we have are phenomenal, and it's because they have a phenomenal leader in Jimmy Dyer. He does a super job in making sure everybody's taken care of and we're as safe as we possibly can be.
Well, even at the beginning of school, you kind of expect, and he, when he was here, and you did as well, you warned us there could be some delays. I think it was like 3 or 4 minutes.
It wasn't bad at all, and it's because he puts the extra extra time into it and energy. I mean, if we have a kid that got off on the wrong bus at the wrong school, he gets in the SUV that he's driving, goes picks him up and takes him back to the school. He says, don't worry about it, I'll come pick him up. Or they'll get on another bus driver say, well, I've got time, I'll take him back. And they'll pick him up. They did that this morning. A couple of kids fell asleep, forgot to get off the primary school. I mean, that's what it is. Sometimes you're tired in the morning. And they came off the bus, and Melissa Thomas held them right there and said, just a second, we'll get you on another bus. Another bus came up. Come on, I'll take them. I mean, it's just phenomenal teamwork, and it's because the way that Jimmy Dyer has put his team together.
Well, I was laughing. Of course, I won't tell you which one of my kids, but one of my kids fell asleep on the bus and went right past their house because they were asleep, and the bus driver looked up and didn't see them. So they, but that kind of stuff happens.
That stuff does happen, and that's why bus drivers have to walk their bus when they park it to be sure we're not leaving a kid on a bus. In the afternoon when it's hot, it's easy for a kid to fall asleep. So our bus drivers are required to walk the bus because there's a buzzer that go off. It's kind of a No Child Left Behind buzzer on every bus. If you don't walk the bus, it'll go off, and the horn will go off, waking that child up. So, and it also remind the bus driver that he has to walk and push a button in the back of the bus.
I love that.
In order to stop that buzzer.
That makes mamas and daddies like me
there's
feel
safety
so much
features
better.
built into our buses today that make sure that we don't leave a kid behind that could possibly hurt them or harm them.
I love that we're doing that, and we're going the extra mile to make sure that kind of stuff is in our buses.
But school years do not start the way it started this year without the teamwork given by Mr. Dyer.
I will tell you, again, I get a lot of word from people, and I did not hear one person, and that's almost impossible. I didn't hear one person now I did hear where they were hard to get up.
Yeah.
Normal.
And we have some sub-drivers that are driving right now, too, that normally don't drive these routes, and they're doing a phenomenal job. And I just want to say thank you to all of them that they get up at 5 o'clock every morning to get on the bus at 5:30 to go pick up our kids.
I'll tell you, here's a story about Jimmy Dyer. Since he's not here, I can talk about it.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you can.
Of course, right below I live out in the middle of nowhere. If you go to the boonies, go a little bit farther, and that's where I live.
Okay.
Well, there's a place that floods on a regular basis right below my house. Mm-hmm. And it just so happened that it had rained so much, not only was it flooded, but there were 2 trees down. And I said, well, our bus driver, bless her heart, she'll get all the way down there, and then see it, And because it was kind of an unexpected thing, I called this man at 5:15 in the morning, and he answered his phone.
Yeah.
And he was a mile from my house. He said, yeah, I'm sitting down here looking at it already.
Right.
And he was already out looking at it.
He gets it when there's inclement weather. Just in the when we have the snow, he's up at 3:30 going out looking at our roads to be sure that our kids are safe. I tell you, there's not a transportation director in the state that goes the extra mile like Jimmy Dyer.
I could not believe that. Not only was he up, but he was out right down by my house. He had already seen it.
Right.
And I thought, you know what, that is somebody I trust my kids with. So, and I'm kind of picky about who I trust my kids with.
I trust all our kids with the drivers that we have and the teachers and the faculty and staff. It is all about kids in Caldwell County. And they talked about the STEM program.
Yes.
That's all because the board had the vision to go ahead and approve a grant writing service through WKEC Co-op. They approved that last year. We got to be a part of the Gear Up grant.
Yes.
That's bringing in the STEM into our schools. It's a phenomenal grant that's going to help us give kids some other opportunities they would not get. But you hear the excitement in Melissa's voice this morning about
I love
the STEM special classes that she's had. I mean, it's phenomenal. It really is.
She's going to have some great energy for the elementary school too.
Both those administrators
right.
have great energy. They really do.
The food. Bless Will Brown's heart. I haven't even heard one fussing about the food. I've heard it's great.
I tell you, he's got a phenomenal staff too. I mean, we have phenomenal staff across the district. Our ladies in the kitchen. You can go to any one of the kitchens and you'll see top first class service for our kids, and they provide an excellent meal twice a day for all our students.
Well, and I will
and it's
say
free for all our students too. So please encourage your son or daughter to eat every day because we get that money back from the federal government.
Well, and I love that because then you don't have to worry. It frees up a little time in the morning at home.
Right.
You know, maybe if they want a snack, give them a donut or something just to tide them over. But they have a really good, solid breakfast.
It's a great breakfast and a lunch for our kids. And they have variety to pick from.
Not all school systems have that either, I'm really appreciative, as most parents are.
Will Brown does a phenomenal job too with our food service.
Now, one of the things he did say is, I guess I'm just going to talk about it.
Okay, that's all right.
But when they send the paperwork home in the backpacks at the very beginning of the year, there's always paperwork, and of course, we always grumble about it, but there's always paperwork that you need to fill out, after the first day of school. Make sure that when you're going through all that paperwork, if you haven't got it filled out yet, make sure that there is a piece of paper that you need to fill out, and that's not for you to try to get a free lunch, because lunch is already free. But what that is to help the state know that, look, we need to continue to get those funds, correct?
Exactly. Yeah.
I forget what form he said that was.
I don't know. I don't know the form number myself because I wasn't involved in the food service arena.
But they're not doing that to try to get your information.
No, they just want to get a head count back to the federal government on what we're doing and how many kids are eating the free meals.
Well, and I think that's good because that way we can continue to do that.
Yes.
And of course, we hit the high school just a few minutes ago. I kind of mentioned the forensics. Man, you've got some great classes up there this week.
I tell you, again, the dual credit programs that we have at the high school, and of course we have our career center as well that has been newly remodeled last year. It's a phenomenal activity for kids to take a part in the automotive, electrical, plumbing, welding, carpentry, nursing, information technology. I mean, there's so many opportunities for our kids to go college or career ready.
Just about anything they're interested in.
Anything they're interested in, and I really encourage them to look at the technical school to find a path for them because college is not for everybody.
It's not. I mean, we had that conversation. Of course, with 3 kids, we had that conversation where I've got one of them that really wants to go to college. I've got one that says, I want to play sports at college. Does that count?
Well, he wants to have Under Armour to sponsor him.
I'm telling you, we had the best conversations off air. My son has decided that that's who he's being sponsored by when he goes up.
There you go. Well,
that's his plan.
I think that's every young man's dream, that he's going to get a sponsor for either a tennis shoe gig or
that's right.
or sweatshirt or something.
Oh, he wants the clothing. He doesn't want the shoes. He wants the clothing sponsorship. But when that doesn't work out, let's just say it might not.
You have to have a trade.
We're not all Cinderella, right?
Right, exactly.
But hey, by the way, guess where he come from?
Yeah.
I love that we've got, we have people like that in Emma Talley.
Exactly
to
right.
To look at these kids and say, hey,
their
don't
success
say never.
That they have. I mean, look at our mayor. Dakota Young, last night I asked him how many dual credits that he got in Caldwell County School, 52 credit hours of college that he completed before he went to University of Kentucky for his degree.
I love that.
If you have the attitude and effort and energy, you can make that work. Now, our Rotary Club, I'm a part of the Rotary Club here in Princeton. We're trying to find ways to help our kids that are taking dual credits to pay for that. Trying to find a way to do that through our Rotary program. And we're looking at that, and also trying to help pay some fees for our career center for students that don't have the money to pay for those class fees. So we're looking into that from the Rotary's perspective to help possibly fund that for our kids that are taking classes, both at dual credit at Madisonville Community College and the Career Center.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. I really do, because it really opens up new avenues and makes some of these kids that they may think, well, I'll never be able to do anything like that, or, they're too timid to try. Well, suddenly they can try it while they're in high school.
And they could ignite a spark in their soul that, hey, I really like doing this. I like to be a carpenter. I like to be a plumber. I like the information management side to do computer work, or I like to be a nurse.
Well, like I mentioned a minute ago, forensics.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to class with that child. I really did. I was like, I want to go take that class.
And the leadership we have in all the schools, but at the high school, they've got it going on. They know what's going on. They know how to make kids successful, and they work as a team there as well. I mean, they have lunch meetings with faculty and staff during the lunchtime. They'll come in and they'll go through. Instead of trying to hold them at the end of the day, they do it during the school day.
Oh,
so they'll have a 20-minute meeting during lunchtime to go through each one of the teaching, the faculty and staff there. It's phenomenal.
She even has a piano class and a guitar class.
Yeah.
That's even being offered at school.
Mr. Thomas does a good job in our band side as well.
So, I mean, whether it's creative arts or whether it's forensics or whether it's plumbing or a trade, I mean, it's all there, and I think it's wonderful. Now, I also know through the Beta Club that they can get, some credits for volunteer work.
Right. Yeah.
And that,
and we're looking. I talked to the board last night about starting an Interact Club, Rotary Club function at the high school for students, and I'm going to get that information together, and we're going to bring that back to the board in September. And I just need to find a teacher that is willing to stand up and say, "Yeah, I like to run that Interact Club for our high school." So if the high school teacher is listening today, I need a volunteer, and of course there's going to be a stipend with it, so you can get a small pay raise to help our kids be involved in a civic organization such as Interact with Rotary.
I think that makes a big, huge difference.
Oh, it's a great program, and we do need to do community service hours anyway for our graduation requirements. So. It's
and
a
I will tell you, parents and some of the kids, if they're listening, wait a minute, you shouldn't be listening. You should be in school. Stop listening to radio.
They may have the right iPad earbuds in or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But we're on the lookout for kids, Mr. Huggins, that is doing the right thing and doing good things.
Right.
And Superintendent Huggins is going to tell us when he sees things so that we can give them the proper kudos.
Well, all our faculty and staff know that all they have to do is email WPKY. They've got your email address to say, hey, I'd like to put this out about my students in my class, or this student is doing a fantastic job, and I'd like to have some.
Could be holding the door open for people. You never know.
Our kids are doing great things in our schools. They really are.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm excited about being the superintendent of Caldwell County Schools. We're going to have a great school year. And again, I'd like to thank the board for their support that they give to our school district.
Well, and we're glad you're there, too. And we do want to remind everybody, like if there's school closings or there's anything like that, Superintendent Huggins he talked to me, we'll talk in the evening. It's not just, during business hours.
Right.
He's on it and emailing and sending out messages and updates, and we sure do appreciate it.
And again, we're leaving at 12:40 tomorrow, and the kids should be off campus by 1:15. The last bus should leave campus 1:15 from the high school. Your kids will get home early Wednesday. The doors will open for the service for Coach David Barnes at 2:30 in our CAD building, the gymnasium, and the service will start at 3:30.
Don't wait till the last second.
Don't wait till the last second. Come pay your respects to a great man.
Well, and for parking purposes and things like that, let's go ahead and get
we should have the campus pretty well cleared out by the time the students will be off campus by 1:30. So.
Okay. So, don't show up too early. 2:30 is plenty of time.
If you get there by 2:30, you'll be in great shape, and all the traffic should be out of your way.
Okay. Well, thank you so much.
Tess, thank you so much. I really appreciate WPKY giving us the opportunity to come and talk about our school system.
Hey, we love it. If we're going to talk about our kids, you and I could do that all day long.
I guarantee it. I appreciate all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stick around. Stay with us, Tess and Ty. We've got. We're going to be talking to the Masonic Lodge here in just a few seconds with Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk on 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Get the whole family ready to step into that famous back-to-school feeling with Famous Footwear's buy one, get one half off sale going on now. That's one pair of checkered Vans for him and half off Adidas for her. Fresh new Timberlands for her and half off new boots for you. Shop top brands that'll make your family feel like they're on top of the world. Famous Footwear, because everyone deserves to feel a little famous. Buy one item, get a second item of equal or lesser value for half price. Some exclusions apply.
Do you want the job done or the job done right? If you're hiring for your business, you want it done right. You want Glassdoor. Simply post your job on Glassdoor and just like that, it's available to over 67 million job seekers. Glassdoor only matches you with the best applicants, so you can find the right fit faster, in half the resumes. Plus, they're 30% more likely to stay with your company longer. Hire better, hire faster. Start your free trial today at glassdoor.com/hire.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, we do have a chance at some showers today, but nothing major, okay? It's not going to be anything horrible, but we do have a chance of that. Now, there is a chance for some storms later on this afternoon, so we're going to hope that that wind doesn't get as high as what they're telling us that it could be this evening. So it's a 50-50 shot. So I'm going to say it's a 50% chance that it doesn't happen for our soccer team's sake this afternoon. High around 99. Now tonight, chance of showers and thunderstorms continuing early, then clearing to mostly cloudy with an overnight low of 72. 40% chance of showers after lunch, high in the lower 90s tomorrow. It's 75 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Brantley Furniture.
Hey guys, Heidi with Capitol Cinemas, your local Princeton movie theater with your weekday lineup. In Cinema 1, Dora and the Lost City of Gold, PG. Shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Dora moves to Cinema 2 on Thursday for the opening of Overcomer, PG. Shows Thursday at 7. In Cinema 2, The Silent Natural, PG. Shows Monday through Wednesday at 6:30. In Cinema 3, Fast and the Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw, PG-13. Shows Monday through Thursday at 6:30. Call during showtime hours at 270-365-0200 or visit us at capitalcinemas.net. Thanks for listening. See you at the show.
1580 103.3 WPKY, Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk this morning. And of course, I have another special guest in the studio with me, Mr. Larry Roberts. Good morning.
Good morning.
And what are you doing here this morning?
Trying to fill in the community a little bit about the Masonic Lodge. We have several things we do during the year, activities, and I just want to talk a little bit about them.
Well, and when you do activities and that sort of thing, there's a good theme behind them, correct?
Yes, ma'am. A lot of our stuff is pertained to the students, like the gentleman you had here before. We do bicycles for kids and stuff like that. I got to tell you some more information about that. First thing I want to do is thank you all for letting me come here and do this.
Well, you're welcome.
Let the community
Anytime.
know that we're out there trying to help the children. We do a lot for children, even our Shriners, the Shriners hospitals and such as that. But locally, we help the just the elementary, primary, and stuff like that.
Okay. So what you've got something big coming up, actually, that I heard about.
Yeah. This Friday night is our family night, and we have the Grand Line, which is the speaker, the officers from the Kentucky. That's the highest you can go in masonry in Kentucky. And
so he's the big guy. He's coming in, huh?
We got 4 of those guys coming down Friday night to have dinner with us and speak. We're going to have barbecue chicken and meatloaf and all the sides.
Oh, now you're talking my language.
Yeah, I hear you.
You barbecue with chicken, I'm in.
A lot of dessert. Bill Perry's going to cook the chicken.
Ooh.
My wife's going to make the meatloaf.
Ah, okay. Your wife make a good meatloaf?
Yeah, I like it.
That sounds good to me.
A little bit about this. A lot of people don't know much about the Masonry. Everybody thinks it's a real secret society, and it's not. We're fairly open. I mean, there's not much that the public,
Well, everybody thinks about the movie National Treasure and some of that, where it's really secretive. You haven't buried any treasure?
No.
Well, Mr. Roberts, now, I don't know that I believe that.
This organization goes all the way back to King Solomon's Temple. I mean,
wow.
There's always, we open with the open Bible and prayer, and, everything is, is around the Bible. I mean, we come from that, and it's I ain't gonna say it's a Christian organization, but it's there's not a bunch of thugs out there.
Oh,
we weed them out before they get there.
Well, I love that. If you're doing a lot of good charity work, which I love.
A lot, yeah. We're going to celebrate our 200th anniversary.
Oh wow!
In 2026, we're in the 193rd. Yeah, this is 193 years right now.
Wow!
And I'm the master this year, and I was master in 2012. I'd like to be master during the 200th anniversary, but at 74,
I think you got it in you. You look young and spry to me.
No, it ain't gonna happen. This is my second round, and I probably be all. We're located on Masonic Lane out here. It's across from Dr. Rogers,
right.
veterinary clinic.
Right.
It was Sweeney's carpet barn, and then Jimmy Lee Bowles, a member of the lodge, he bought the building, and he didn't donate it to us, but he sold it to us at a good price. So we was upstairs over one of our cleaners for years and years and years. And we moved out there in 1988, I believe. We moved to the new location. And it's a beautiful lodge, beautiful lodge.
Well, how would somebody go about going out and seeing it or being a part of the Masonic Lodge?
Okay, we have a logo. We have a bumper sticker that says, "To be one, ask one." There is this lodge, we do not recruit. If a young man wants to be a Mason, he's got to ask somebody. If you got an uncle that's a Mason, you just go to Uncle Tom and say, "Listen, I want to be a Mason," and that's all you got to do.
Oh.
And he'll have the paperwork, and he starts the ball rolling. But you've got to ask.
So you don't have to have a wife that makes meatloaf. That's
No,
not
no.
But it helps, I bet, doesn't it?
Every time we eat, every time we meet, we eat. So it helps when you got a wife
Well,
that
now
cooks.
see, that's what you should have led with a while ago. Every time they meet, they eat. That
Yep.
needs to be your logo, and you'd be covered up.
Every time, and especially this lodge here, we eat well, as you can tell looking at me. But we always have a good meal. We meet on the second Friday of every month.
Okay.
And it's 6 o'clock eating time and 7 o'clock meeting time.
Well, we don't want to show up to just a meeting and not eat.
A lot of them will eat and then sleep.
Uh-oh. That sounds like my house at Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah, I look back around
after
the crowd,
Sunday dinner.
Yeah, I look back around the crowd and there's something back there. I kind of know what a preacher feels like, sometimes,
Hey, that's how you know. On Sunday night at church, you know who's had a really good home-cooked meal
Yeah,
and who's not, because you
you're
can look
right.
across through the pews and see who's asleep.
You're right. The lodge has about 120 members. I went in 1971, and we had a little over 400. So it's a fraternity that's slowly going away, and we're trying to get new members in. We help out the students and all such as that. Try to get our word out. Trying to get let the community know that we're not here just to meet and eat, so to speak.
We're there to do good things for the community, right?
Yep.
Because you've been here long enough that you know you're not new to this.
We have, this year we give away 15 bicycles.
Wow.
I think it was, maybe it was 6 at the primary and 9 at the elementary. And it's for perfect attendance.
Aww.
And usually the lodge members will buy a bicycle. Walmart or somebody will give us a good price on bicycles, and so we bought 15 this year. But you got to have perfect attendance throughout the whole year to get a bicycle.
Well, you want to see a kid smile, give them a bicycle. That is about as big of a smile as you get.
They had this year out there. We made a bunch of smiles. I really enjoyed it.
Well, that's a great thing to reward, though. Reward the kids when they do something right.
We also have shoes. We give we call it Happy Feet. Children that need a pair of shoes, we can fix them up.
I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing that they're doing.
A few years ago, at graduation, back whenever they had a kind of a dress code, we bought shoes and we bought trousers and lot of things for the seniors that was graduating that didn't have the money to buy a nice pair of pants to graduate in, you know.
And I know a lot of people say, well, this day and age, you're surely to goodness. There's more people than you think that can't afford that.
We haven't done that in a few years. We've diverted over to the bicycles, and I don't know why that got kind of put aside, but it did. We also give scholarships. Up until this year, we was given two $250 scholarships. I didn't think, $250 for a scholarship, that just about will buy a book nowadays. If they even still use books. I don't know if they even use books anymore. All maybe computer, I don't know. But last month, might have been June, I don't know. But we voted to raise it to $500. So we're going to give two $500 scholarships next year in 2020.
Okay. Well, I think that's fantastic.
We also one way to raise money for some of this, we have a fifth Saturday breakfast.
Right.
This year it's August 30. This month it's August 31st. I told Ty I'd bring him a breakfast, but he's got to show up.
That's right.
He can't run off. You get a free breakfast.
Hey, Ty, na.
Yeah, really. It's.
I bet he won't miss next time. What do you want to bet?
Yeah, really. We have a country ham breakfast. It's $7. All you care to eat. We have country ham, sausage, bacon, eggs, gravy, biscuits, jellies.
Oh, you had
drinks.
me at country ham.
It's everything. We start cooking about 4:30, and usually about 10 or 10:30, most everybody's that wants breakfast has got it and gone.
Okay, what's the date on that now?
This is August 31st. It'll be a week from Saturday.
That's my dad's birthday. We might just have to come eat country ham for his birthday.
Well, Friday night is our family night, and that's my birthday.
Oh, well.
I was telling my wife that's the 35th anniversary of my 39th birthday.
Are we getting a meatloaf that night?
Yeah.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's special enough. We can get that.
So I don't know whether people can figure out.
Your wife's going to kill me.
I don't know whether people can figure out how old I am by saying 35 and 39.
I bet they can. Y'all, you're young now. What kind of phone number? Have you got a phone number they can call if they say, how do I get a hold of anybody?
My number's 270-625-1800.
And where's the lodge located?
The lodge is located on Masonic Drive, which is Highway 91 South toward Hopkinsville. You go out where it used to be Jerry's Market, and we turn right there. We're across the road from the old Uncle Escu's, or across the road from Rogers Veterinary Clinic. You know, that big blue building over on the side.
Serving Caldwell County since 1950.
I don't know what else.
We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton.
There's a lot of activities going on. But if anybody wants to call me at that number, feel free. I'll sit down and talk to them about being a member. But you've got to ask me to be. I'm going to come out and look you up and say you got to be a member.
Right. No, I think that's really neat that you guys do that, though.
Yeah, we're down to 120 members, and we're struggling. So we're trying to get our name out, and we'd like to have some new members. I went to a lodge. Went to a lodge the other night in Cave City, Kentucky, and it was the next morning. We went to Louisville to a lodge up there. There was about 25 members there, and the average age was probably 75 to 80 years old.
My goodness.
There was 3 men there that was probably in their 40s or 50s.
Wow.
So we're hurting for our young men.
Right. No, I get that, yeah.
So we tried to put our name out here, show good things that we do, and maybe they'll get interested. And I realize this day and time, boy, it's busy. And there was a lot of years, of course, I've been a member now for 48 years, and there was a lot of years that all I'd done was paid my dues and worked.
Right.
Once I once I reached kind of retirement age or, slowed down, then I started going back to lodge. But it's hard for a young man to.
It is. Because, well, you've got so many things. You've got work, which these days, a 40-hour work week is just almost unheard of, anymore. And a lot of times it takes mom and dad both to work to make ends meet. And, when you talk about that, even churches, I think a lot of churches are even seeing their numbers go down a lot.
Yeah. Well, we're working on it. We're trying to get new members in, but it's really, really hard to.
Well, maybe this will help. How do they know a lodge member? When you say all you got to do is ask, well, how do they know?
Well,
are they going to wear the hat like what you've got on? Or
I wear jewelry, and I got a ring, and I got a hat. If they see a good man out in the community that they look up to, just ask them, are you a Mason? If you are, I want to be one,
I think Brady Witherspoon is a friend of mine. I believe that he was interested in it there for a little while. But I think that sometimes, we don't know enough about it and we don't know how. And I think there's a persona that sometimes that, it has to be grandfathered in, you have to be the son of someone.
All of our work in the lodge, we do not read out of a book. Everything we do is memorized. So a young man going into lodge, the first 3 or 4 months, 5 months, it took me from January till May because of work and whatever and family. It took me 5 months to memorize the parts that I had to remember.
I would still be trying to memorize. You're better at that than I am.
It's rough, and there's a lot. There's a lot to memorize.
But we don't want to discourage anybody from that. There may be a lot, but it's worth it, right?
If you've ever been to a funeral, and they're going to have a Masonic service, it would do a person good to sit and listen to that service. It is beautiful, and all that's memory, and it's about 20 minutes long. Just Robert Ward and Eddie Tosh
This is the radio station. I want to see your big radio.
Do what?
I want to see your big radio.
The big radio?
But you have to talk in the big radio, make it come out all the lumens?
No. Well, yeah, I guess. That's our microphone. You silly thing. Do you know who that is?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I think he knows how that works, don't you?
Y'all weren't recording. Y'all weren't there, were you?
No, not at the moment. Not right that second, no. He knows. He knows all my little tricks. He knows everything. You know why he knows, Mr. Roberts?
Yeah, he's been in a business about 100 years.
He taught me all of them. That's why he knows. Well, remind us again. Now, what's the, how do we go about getting this country ham? Are there tickets ahead of time?
No, you can just pay at the door when you go in. It's going to be this Friday. This Friday night is the family night, and then on Saturday, August the 31st, starting at 6 o'clock in the morning, there's the fifth Saturday breakfast, and that's where we're going to have country ham and all the trimmings that you could ever want for potatoes, everything.
Well, that is wonderful. Thank you for coming in today. We sure do appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to come out here and speak. We need some good words out here. We need some new members, and that's not the whole thing about though. I just want to let the community know that we're there to help the children, and the main thing, we give away these bicycles. They look forward to it. I'd like to go up to 20 bicycles for next year, but whether I can get 20 volunteers to buy a bicycle or not.
Well, you never know. Maybe at that time we'll put it back out on the air, and maybe we'll get some extra people to buy some bicycles.
That's right.
You got to have a goal, right?
Yeah, we had this year we lacked about 4 bicycles having enough for the perfect attendance. So,
right.
So I'm saying if we can get 20 bicycles for next year, that should cover the primary and the elementary perfect attendance students.
Well, I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, my nephew, my grandson got one last year, and tickled him to death.
Aww.
Yeah, he had a new bicycle at home already, and when he got this bicycle, the other one kind of went by the wayside.
Oh.
He rides that new one.
Isn't that
The one he
fun?
won. Yeah.
You can't go wrong with a kid and a bicycle, can you?
Yeah, and he earned it. I mean, he felt like he earned it. Yeah.
Right. Well, perfect attendance. You get up every day, and there's not a lot of people that can go that long without not missing one day of work.
Right. People miss work nowadays for nothing.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Well,
when
you're
you guys
welcome.
have something else, you come back and see us, okay?
All righty. Be glad to.
Mr.
Look forward
Larry
to it.
Roberts. And now, what is the number for your Masonic Lodge? Like, it's number...
Clinton Lodge 82.
There we go. That was the number I was looking. And
Clinton-
where is it located again?
It's located on Masonic Drive off of Highway 91 South. If you go to the John Deere place, you've gone too far. Turn around and come back to Masonic Drive.
Well, thank you so much. We sure do appreciate it. It's Tess and Ty and Coffee Talk on 1580 103.3 WPKY.